Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the School District of Springfield Township Board of School Directors Interim Board Meeting, November 6, 2017. We had an executive session prior to this meeting to discuss a personnel matter. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reading of the mission statement. Dr. Taratusky, would you?
The mission of the School District of Springfield Township is to educate and develop all students as learners and citizens who are high-achieving, resilient, and responsible in a changing global community.
Thank you. I apologize, Mr. Lapidus. I did not realize you were not here.
You didn't wait, but I was.
Sorry, I'm a little under the weather. I'm like trying to move it along. Okay.
I was just waiting for me at home.
All right, here we go. Roll call. Mr. King.
Mr. Chapman. Here. Ms. Casalis. Here. Mr. Lapidus. Here. Ms. Nelson. Mr. Rayer. Ms. Sarsfield. Here. Dr. Taratusky. Here. Mr. Taylor. Ms. Slipinski.
Here. Number 6, announcements. The board at its discretion may videotape all or any portion of public board meetings subject to the limitations set forth in policy 006.2, broadcasting of meeting. Board meetings will be broadcast on Friday afternoon following the board meeting. Are there any public comments on agenda items?
No one said that.
Number 1 is the administrative report. Dr. Nancy Hacker.
I just have a brief report. Thank you, Mrs. Slipinski. Tomorrow is a full in-service day for all of our staff members since students have off due to Election Day. I would simply encourage all members of the community to go out and exercise their rights as citizens and vote in the election. And we will be busy here in school with our in-service activities on inclusive practices.
Do we have a finance report? We do. Okay. So next will be the Finance Committee report.
I just want to say thank you for all the board members who came to the Finance Committee. So we did meet on November 5th at 5:15, and we had with us one member from the community who had some questions regarding the referendum, the ballot question that's on the ballot tomorrow for Election Day and its impact on school real estate taxes. Dr. Hacker sent out an e-blast to the school community with some information about that, and anyone who has any questions about that is certainly welcome to contact the district. We discussed the audit. The Ron Miniger from Dreslin and Company went over the financial audit of the district, the local audit, and shared the findings with us. I'm not going to go over the details. I believe everybody has a copy of all that information. It was a positive audit. There were no significant findings. And the last two things that we talked, the last couple things we talked about, we discussed the new K2 building and high school project funding situations. The 2 bond issues have been completed and have been included in the budget, and we are continuing to include all of the financing for that project in our budget as it was planned. The last thing that we talked about was the preliminary budget timeline and information. Current year, the index is 2.4%, and we are aiming, of course, to stay under budget this year. And the initial release of the budget, the authorization would be in December 5th, and the release would be in December for the preliminary budget, and the final budget would be on June 19th. And there's a whole process in between there. So, any questions about finance? Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to new business. Number 1, personnel. Personnel attachment, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the following personnel as presented in the attachment: confidential personnel, certificated personnel, support personnel, extra pay for extra responsibilities, and conference workshop attendance. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Casalis?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 2, revision of policy 351, drug, alcohol, and substance abuse, first reading. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the first reading of policy 351, drug, alcohol, and substance abuse, attachment Q. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Okay.
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Casalis?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 3, revision of policy 701.1, naming rights, first reading. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the first reading of policy 701.1, naming rights, attachment R. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Casalis?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus? Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 4, revision of policy 806, child student abuse, first reading. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the first reading of policy 806, child student abuse, attachment S. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Casalis?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 5, new policy 810.3, use of school vehicles by staff, first reading. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the first reading of policy 810.3, use of school vehicles by staff, attachment T. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Mr. King?
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Casalis?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 6, new administrative rule 702.1, memorials, first reading. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the first reading of Administrative Rule 702.1, memorials, attachment U. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
I just have one quick comment. I just want to point out that this is a revised administrative regulation and not a new one. And on your draft that's in your packet, you can see what those changes are.
Mr. King?
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Casalis?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 7, incentive compensation payment, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves a non-reoccurring incentive compensation payment to Dr. Nancy M. Hacker intended to be compensation for the purpose of PEASers as the result of Dr. Hacker's meritorious performance during the 2016-2017 school year pursuant to the incentive compensation provisions in her employment agreement dated June 19, 2013, and the amount of $10,000 less legally required withholdings. It is understood that Dr. Hacker's compensation will increase for the 2017-2018 school year to $230,000 less legally required withholdings. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Casalis?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Teratusky?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye.
I would like to.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
And then you may make a
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, thank you, and my thanks to the board. And I just want to particularly thank the board because I know that you take this very, very seriously, that when we talk about goals for any given school year, and we mutually agree upon what we believe are the important goals that need work in the district, that you take that charge very seriously, and we spend a lot of time talking about many goals, not only in the facilities area, the financial area, but most importantly, of course, the academic area. And I also know that when I hand you a binder that's pretty thick at the end of the school year, and it reflects a lot of the work that we've been doing and that has been given serious consideration throughout the school year, that you in turn give it a lot of serious consideration in terms of weighing exactly what has occurred in the district. And I commend you for that, and I appreciate that. So I thank you for this recognition.
You're welcome. Number 8, Chester County IU Brandywine Virtual Academy. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the agreement between the School District of Springfield Township and the Chester County Intermediate Unit for services rendered by the Brandywine Virtual Academy from August 28, 2017 to June 7, 2018, as per the Attachment B. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments?
I just have a question. Is this in place of virtual high school or supplementary to it?
Supplemental. It's an addition. It's for students who perhaps may not be able to attend school
Okay.
for various reasons, medical or whatever, and where there might not be courses that we can offer through virtual high school. This is a different avenue during which they can pursue those courses.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Casalis?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Teratusky?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye.
Number 9, audit report, year end, 6/30/17. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the Finance Committee's recommendation to accept the audit report for the year end, June 30th, 2017, as prepared by Dreslin and Company for the School District of Springfield Township. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Casalis?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield? Dr. Teratusky?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 10, approval of Iwatsu phone sales. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the attached agreement with Brass Valley LLC to purchase the district's old Iwatsu phones as listed for the amount of $5,600, attachment W. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman? Ms. Casalis?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Teratusky?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Are there any public comments on non-agenda items? Future meeting dates, school board meeting Tuesday, November 21st, 2017, 7 p.m. in the Freeze Memorial Lobby. School/reorg board meeting Tuesday, December 3rd, 2017, 7 p.m., Freeze Memorial Lobby.
That doesn't sound
No, Tuesday is December 5th.
the 5th.
December 5th.
Okay. So the school reorg board meeting will be Tuesday, December 5th, 2017, 7 p.m. in the Freeze Memorial Lobby. Thank you. Correction. That is all for tonight. Have a good night, everyone. Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, everyone.